It's time to find out if the 100,000 mile, 500 horsepower Jaguar XFR can really handle a trip of 1,200 miles from England to Spain. Will we make it to our destination, or will the journey, the roads, and the police who threaten to shoot me derail the trip? Well, this is a bit of fun. We're one day before Christmas Eve today, and just heading to the gym. Thought the car's all ready to go. We're leaving on the 27th, so day after Boxing Day. I think it's fairly unlikely any Jaguar specialist is going to be open during that time, and we've suddenly got this, and that, more concerningly, and that. Oh, it's all the errors. Oh, goody. All right, so I got pulled away for Boxing Day dinner, but the time lapse showed 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but I'm pretty sure it took longer than that, so I'm not sure what 3 minutes and 30 seconds is in Earth time, but probably an hour or something, just getting everything ready. I've not actually packed any clothes or anything because, well, that's the missus' job, isn't it? How misogynist, Adam. But yeah, call me old school, but I have done all of the emergency stuff, and I've actually just remembered that I forgot to put probably the second most important thing for emergencies is these, which are aluminium foil blankets. I thought I had some new ones in packets here, but apparently not, so I'll just take this instead. And we'll add it to our safety supplies. We'll find a place for those in a minute. So what have I got? I've got the X-Tool OBD reader. Did plug the car in and cleared the codes down. There were so many of them, I'm not going to bother to show you. That is quite good if you've got an internet connection. If you don't, it just like freaks out every third time you use it, and it doesn't really work. So we've got the DeWalt impact driver for changing wheels with the correct size socket. I think it's a 17, but don't quote me. Jump pack in case we lose battery. We've got a mini compressor for tyres there, and we've also got another one just there. Easy access. Oh, get out of the way. Easy access, and brand new Clark jack. We've got. I'm going to turn this torch down a bit. It's super bright. Let's see if that. Right, we've got a some engine oil there and there, and some power steering fluid buried behind that jack. And probably most importantly, we've got 16 litres of water. I was going to buy the round ones that hold 5 litres each, but yeah, they take up basically the same amount of space as the 4 times 2. So we've got 8 litres times 2. And yeah, that should keep us alive if we need it. Kind of cleared the car. Oh, you need to check the oil as well. So I was looking for a dipstick under the bonnet for ages. You dipstick! And it's one of those silly cars where it hasn't got a dipstick, so I've managed to find it anyway. This is the evidence. It's all okay. Level okay. It's on full. So it did take some coolant earlier. Water, and it did take some washer fluid, again water, but water's better, I find. But yeah, so basically we're ready to go. I've got to take the YouTube stuff as well, the kind of cameras and well, I need to find a space for that tripod on the roof that's been recording the time lapse that we may or may not use, and then these 3 boxes as well, which might not look that big. But yeah, kind of to get together, they take up kind of that amount of space. It's quite a lot when you think about it, considering that I'm going with the missus, and yeah, we know what they're like, don't we? This car's going to be full before long, I reckon. Yeah, it's all currently in hand. Hopefully no more repetitions of that gearbox warning we got the other day. All the codes are cleared now, and we'll be leaving. Actually, not early, but I just wanted to get everything ready today. I think we're leaving about midday. It should be, all goes to plan, we should be in Dijon in France about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so I'll catch up with you there. There's a lot of people here. Guess everyone's trying to escape the communistic hellhole that is England these days. But Sarah's been keeping me entertained. She said, how does this work then? Is it actually a train? Or how do the cars fit on the train? So it's just a big train that takes cars. And then she said, are we on it now? I'm like, no, we're not on it now. But yeah, the car's got here okay. I'm going to reset all the clocks, the trip, and I'll give you. I think the next update will be in Dijon. Yeah. So we just got to Dijon. I dropped the girls off at the Airbnb, and they sent me out to find some food. Quite tired. I've got some thoughts on the car. One thing I will say is it needs a bigger fuel tank. We had to stop 4 times coming here, and if it was just me by myself, I'd probably opt to stop once. With the family, probably twice, but we had to do 2 fuel stops. Literally burn through a whole tank of fuel in about 200 miles. It's not enough for a car with a big supercharged V8 engine, and it's not exactly light either. So we averaged 22.4 miles to the gallon, which, you know, is, well, it's better than a Range Rover with the same engine, put it that way. Oh, nearly having a crash there. I am tired. I need to concentrate on what I'm doing. Try not to crash. He's gone through there, so I am as well. But yeah, check in tomorrow morning. Morning. Had a reasonably okay night's sleep for me. Probably got about 5 hours. I was staying up there in the naughty boys room last night, and just waiting for the girls as usual. Would quite like to get going. We've got like probably a 9-hour drive with stops now coming up, but quite cold, as you can see. When we got here last night, it was well below 0, and I kind of made the mistake of not really eating during the day, and it was kind of getting on my nerves a bit by the time we got here. I was feeling a bit fatigued, and so I'm going to try and do the opposite today. Try and keep fully hydrated and fed, and I think I'll get her warmed up and just double check the rear tyres, because they were low the other day. This one was at 25 psi, the other side was 20. They look alright, but I think I'll just check them in a minute. Just do a visual check round. All looks, oh, this one does look low actually. Look at that. Yeah, so that's a 15.5, so it's lost. It's a bit early to do maths. It was 33, so it's lost like 12, is it? We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. I think we'll stop. Each time we stop, I'm going to check that, so yeah, it should be okay. Quick one while you watch the journey down to Spain. If you enjoy driving a bit too much and end up with a speeding ticket, or you just want some legal protection in your back pocket, check out Drive Protect in the description. So I wanted to tell you, while it's fresh in the mind, we've just done a massive, we're going to crash into that wall. This is not designed for anything other than a Spanish Comunista car. Oh, we're going to scrape it. Surely we're going to scrape it. How are you meant to get up there? But yeah, I just nearly got shot by the police. So I'm not joking. We went, basically we've been taken all around Barcelona by the sat-nav, some of which I've got on a time lapse, so that might be entertaining for you. And then the only way, basically on the 3rd time we got diverted, and it was like adding 30 minutes every time, I got annoyed with it and pulled into like a highly secure police station, not necessarily on purpose, but it's just like it was close to where we want to be. And he was very shocked to see us, And he said, oh, just so you know, I saw your daughter, but like normally if you pull in here, you get shot. And I just started laughing, which he didn't laugh back, put it that way. So at the moment, I'm just trying to, oh God, you wouldn't believe how tight this is. I don't know how we're not damaging the car, but yeah, that was a bit of a laugh. I've checked the rear tyre pressure and it's basically cured itself. No longer has a slow puncture. That's really weird, isn't it? I thought maybe it just wasn't losing air, you know, while it was rolling, and that it might overnight, but no, it's held 100% of the pressure. So I'm just going to check the fluids. Another, hopefully, 5.5 hours to destination. A nice Spanish beer. Hour and 10 to go. Look at that though. Kind of fairly uneventful. This has probably been the most relaxing part of the trip, the last stint. Maybe it's because I know we're getting close, so sort of gives you something to kind of look forward to, doesn't it? And the only thing is, slightly screwed up at the toll booth, one of the toll booths. I went really close in so the missus could reach to get the cards, and either forgot or didn't realise or didn't see or whatever, and managed to scrape the front wheel where it flares out at the bottom. You know, like the ones they have on the motorway in case people fall asleep, so it kind of just pushes the car, it sort of nudges the car back. They've got those on the toll booths, but I'm sure the bit at the bottom flares out more. Why that is, I don't know. I really can't imagine why they would put those there, but obviously it's my fault. I either didn't see it or didn't realise it was there. But yeah, it's not too bad. If that's the only damage to the car on this trip, I'll be happy. So, hour and 10 to go. So we're here in Spain. Stupidly, on the night we arrived, I went out with an old friend and got rather drunk. So yesterday was a bit of a write-off. Silly Adam. So yeah, the trip down, I didn't do any piece to camera on the trip down because day one we were kind of just trying to get to Dijon. It was later in the day, it was kind of dark most of the journey, or a lot of the journey. And little one, on day two, little one decided she wasn't happy. So the opportunity didn't really present itself to do any piece to camera. You didn't miss too much. There's a few things about the car, I've made some notes. The fuel tank is simply too small for a car with this horsepower and fuel consumption. You kind of get about 25-ish miles to the gallon on the motorway, and the fuel tank's 80 litres. It feels like you're filling up every 5 minutes. I suspect what's happened is maybe due to budgetary constraints, they've simply taken an XF, you know, the XF platform, and just used the same fuel tank as with the cars with much smaller engines, which is not ideal, I have to say. The car does feel a bit heavy. I suspect a lot of that is the sound deadening in the car, because it's lovely and quiet on the motorway, but I wonder if Jaguar might have gone a bit overkill with the sound deadening and maybe some other areas as well. The car's aluminium, so it should be light, but it's a bit like with an Audi TT, funnily enough. That's aluminium and that's not light. A lot of aluminium cars are not that light, I find. Engineers, let me know in the comments why that is. I managed to dink the wheel, unfortunately, at one of the toll booths. I think it was in Spain. I had to, obviously being a right-hand drive car, I had to go really close to the payment machine on the left, so that the missus could lean out of the window and pay. And at this particular one, the barrier was really flared at the bottom. It stuck out a lot and I didn't notice it. I don't know if I was just tired or couldn't see it, I'm not actually sure, and scuffed the front wheel, which was quite irritating. But I guess if that's the only damage that happens to this car on this trip, it's not too bad. The windscreen washers are a bit of a bugbear of mine with this car. I remember when I had a diesel XF a few years ago, drove it around for probably 6 months or so, and one of the few things I didn't like about the car was the stupid windscreen washers, where there's these tiny jets that kind of spray out from the windscreen wipers themselves, and they never do a good job. And it's as if Jaguar's gone into sort of conservation mode. It doesn't want to use too much water or something, which is kind of a bit weird considering that it's a V8 supercharged 5-litre engine. But yeah, so regular screen cleaning on the way down with the Auto Smart, that kind of covers it. But do you really want to be carrying that around with you during normal driving? I don't know. Rubbish design. I noticed that the average speed counter, the car can't add up. So I don't know where it gets the average speed from. I'm not sure if it's the time the car's only moving or the time the ignition's on, or if there's like a lag either side of the ignition being on in terms of it counting time. But it doesn't seem to make any sense, because the average speed was too low for, you know, I'm just looking at the police. You can look at the police over here and they don't sort of pull a gun on you and try and arrest you, as we found out in Barcelona. But and the road is just great. You can actually use the roads. We didn't get in one traffic jam all the way down. Well, in France we did. In the middle of France was quite bad, but northern France, free-flowing traffic. Dijon to Spain, free-flowing traffic. You know, that's what you want, isn't it? And just look at these lovely roads. You can actually use them without having to worry about, you know, traffic jams, speed cameras, looking at police funny, you know, kind of anything like that. And yeah, it's just, we're combined with the weather, it's just so much freer. It's just so much freer. It's great. Some people are perfectly fine with long drives, but I've always found since I was young that 5 hours is kind of my limit, and I start getting a bit irritable and tetchy and, you know, shuffling around in the seat. I think it's my ADHD brain starting to glitch out after that amount of time. So did kind of struggle a little bit, especially on day 2, 540 miles I think it was, and particularly with little one deciding she wasn't in a good mood and kind of kicking off quite badly in the back. So would I drive down to Spain again? Not sure, but I've got to get back yet. One thing that I found kind of bizarre was on the way from Dijon to Spain, as we entered Spain, I would say within 2 miles of going past the border, there were signs along the lines. I've actually made a note, I didn't manage to record them, but it was like highway robbery, don't trust strangers, puncture, question mark, it could be a scam, don't stop for strangers, things like this. And there was about 10 to 15 of these signs over the course of, say, 100 miles or so. And the interesting thing to me was they were all in English. There was none in French, obviously just having come out of France. There were none in Spanish. So I guess maybe a lot of English tourists have been targeted. Kind of weird. Oh yeah, and about the slow puncture, it's so strange. So it was low in England. Kind of thought maybe it just wasn't pumped up. Pumped it up. It was then low again in France, significantly low as well. It had lost, I forget exactly the amount, but it was a significant amount of pressure it had lost. I think maybe 12 psi or so. Pumped it up again. I thought I'll check it after a few hours, which I did, and the pressure had gone up 4 psi. Obviously that's because the tyre was warm at that point and it was freezing cold in the morning, so it kind of makes sense. I checked it again when we got to our destination and still high. And it's retained its pressure since, even though we've been here 2 nights now. Is it 2 nights? Yeah, 2 nights. First night I was rather drunk, I'm afraid. And yeah, it's held its pressure. So it's a self-healing Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. One thing that I found kind of bizarre was there was a reasonably significant difference in fuel economy depending on what country you're in. I was doing a fairly consistent speed the whole way, all through the journey, unless we were in traffic. And I noticed that in Spain, the fuel economy was significantly higher. And the only explanation I could come up with is either the atmospheric pressures or the density of the air is different. I find that kind of unlikely, although, yeah, maybe because of the temperature. But I suspect what it actually is the rolling resistance of the tarmac. So it does appear that Spain has got better roads than France. And obviously England's got, what, the worst roads in the world, hasn't it? Outside of Africa. Driving to Spain in the Jaguar XFR was just the warm-up. Next, we're doing a proper deep dive review of the car, and then we're heading out to find two of Europe's best and most beautiful undiscovered driving roads. So make sure you're subscribed. The best bits are coming next.